Do you remember when you were a kid? When believing was easy? When faith didn't need proof? When you didn't overthink your prayers, you just believed? If you watch a child pray, they don't explain it, they don't negotiate with God, they don't prepare for disappointment, they just believe. They don't ask if God can, they assume He will. When we were kids, miracles didn't feel rare, they felt normal. God felt close, powerful, present. But growing up does something to us. Life makes us cautious, disappointment makes us hold back, and slowly, quietly, faith gets filtered through fear. We say we believe in God, but if we really did, why did we stop expecting Him to move? God never stopped working, we just stopped looking for it. Growing up didn't make us faithless, it made us unsure. We asked for things and nothing happened. We prayed and time kept moving. We believed and still lost. So we learned to lower our expectations before disappointment could, because we learned how to settle. We stopped asking big. We stopped hoping loud. We stopped believing for things beyond us. And the truth is, the only time anyone ever needs a miracle is when life reaches a place you can't fix, explain, or control. Somewhere along the way, we didn't just stop trusting God. We started trusting everything else more. A doctor speaks and it feels final. The news says something and fear spreads instantly. One headline, one opinion, one voice on a screen, and suddenly people are divided. Protesting, fighting, hurting each other, sometimes even dying for things that weren't even true. And when the truth finally comes out, we don't talk about it, we move on, we forget like it never happened. It's strange how quickly we believe what man says, how easily we trust government, institutions, systems that change their story more than you can count every year. The Bible warned us about this. It said not to trust in man, not in human wisdom, not even fully in ourselves. But now, we trust these so-called experts more than prayer, headlines more than discernment, opinions more than conviction. We stop listening to that quiet sense inside us, that God-given instinct, that simple wisdom. God has always been near, always present, always working in ways we fail to see. God has always been found in stillness, in quiet nudges, in peace that doesn't make sense. The problem isn't that God stopped speaking. It's that we stop paying attention long enough to hear Him. Miracles don't come from knowing how. They come from stepping forward in faith. Childlike faith was never ignorance. It was courage. Every miracle in the Bible began the same way, with trusting God fully, without hesitation, without overthinking. And maybe God isn't asking us to be smarter or louder or more informed. He's just asking us to remember who we trusted before the world taught us to be afraid. Jesus once said, we have to become like children again, not naive, not careless, but trusting. Children don't question, they just know who they trust. They don't need guarantees, they don't need headlines, they don't need proof stacked neatly in front of them. They just believe that the one holding their hand won't let go. God never stopped working miracles. He never ran out of power. He never changed. We just grew up and forgot how to expect Him. But it's not too late to remember, because the same God who parted seas, who healed the broken, who raised the dead, is still here, still able, still willing. So maybe it's time to stop believing everything you hear and start daring to believe in miracles again. Because you are a child of God. And when you begin to trust that again, you start getting real. And like I always say, when you get real, God gets real.